Looks like the game started, so let's get back on topic.
Okay. I'm going to run the intro real quick and then we'll get the show on the road. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Starladder Season 5. You're watching Beyond the Summit, and we are about to cast Power Rangers versus Four Friends and Krilly. I'm LD, and I'm joined here today by Maruna. And Maruna is happy to be here, and she's finished class for the day.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Welcome, everybody. This is gonna be, I think, a more interesting game, as we're having a couple of stand-ins on both sides, and sometimes those games are just a little bit more crazy than what we usually see. I don't know what to expect from those teams.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to expect either. I actually have not cast Power Rangers for... I don't think I've ever cast them. I watched quite a few of their games back earlier in the season with Starladder, but have not actually seen them play for myself firsthand as a caster. So I don't really know a whole lot about this team. I think they're pretty aggressive, though, if I recall correctly. Whereas 4FC, well, they're greedy. Krilly loves his Midas, loves his Battle Fury, loves his farming items, loves his Alchemist. And we'll see if he can get away with it against Power Rangers here today.
Well, the band so far look pretty standard. We're not gonna see a Keeper of the Light. I'm personally very happy about that.
It's a
But apart
painful
from
hero
that,
to watch.
yeah.
It's a painful hero to play
After G League,
against.
no one wants to see Kotl anymore.
I thought that game was I thought it was quite interesting, but yeah, it dragged a bit towards the end, and it was also like
bit.
6 a.m. here when the cast finished, and we'd been
Oh,
up all
okay.
night, so yeah, I think everyone was ready for that game to be over. Actually, maybe it was even later than that, but that's neither here nor there. Let me ask you, what did you think of G League overall?
I think it was a bit weird to have the finals after such a long time. I mean, Chinese New Year is a big thing for them, but maybe they should put the schedule a little bit differently to not have this huge big break, because everyone, after the semifinals, everyone was super hyped up, and now everyone was like, what is this? I mean, Puppy tweeted about it. He said it looked more like a show match between those two for $40,000 than the final of the actual league.
Yeah, I felt like the teams were not in good form. I mean, not just LGD, but IG as well, and I mean, I felt like the level they were playing at going into the semifinals and playing those games was much more polished. I thought the rust was definitely there. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it was nerves to a certain extent, but I mean, you got to figure, especially for IG, they've been there so many times before. It can't really be nerves with them. So then you got to think maybe the teams just aren't in top form. And I mean, like you said, it also just kind of changes the feel for the viewers. It's can you imagine if that happened in like professional sports? Like I know in American football, the Super Bowl, there's normally a 1 week break, and sometimes there's a 2 week break on certain years, just depending on like the schedule and whatnot. And even then, people are like, "Really, I have to wait 2 weeks, let alone 2 months." Sheesh.
I don't know so much about real competitive sport, to be completely honest. The only thing I watch sometimes is horse jumping, and that's all. I'm not into soccer.
Where does one go to watch that? Actually,
Germany.
Okay.
It's
Do you
really
go
big
to
in
live
Germany.
competitions or it's just on TV?
No, just sometimes when I'm like watching TV and changing channels, and then, oh, it's jumping, so I'm gonna watch it.
Now, is that because you enjoy horse jumping or just because there are horses involved?
I've been riding since many,
Yeah,
many
I
years, so
figured.
it's okay.
You sounded like it. All right, so back on topic, Power Rangers. They're going to pick up the Lifestyle and the Queen of Pain. Four Friends and Krilly. They open with the Darkseer. So two very strong semi-carries for Power Rangers. Hero in the Lifestealer who does decently against Darkseer in the laning stage. If they get something to combo with him, like a Shrek, a Lena. There's also Shadow Demon in the pool, which might be a great choice here. They could look to kill him fairly early in the laning stage, so we'll see how the draft develops.
There's also still a Phantom Lance in the pool, and
No Kodal, though.
after G League, we can't forget Phantom Lance and what he can do. So he's probably gonna pick it up now, unless they have a real good strategy in mind against a Lifestealer and a Phantom Lance if they want to give that away.
There's always Krilly's Alchemist. I saw it once. I was impressed just because he got to farm all game, and his NGPM was quite good. But Alchemist matches up actually very poorly against Lifesteal because his base armor is total trash. So we'll see. Bane is going to be picked, and then Mag. Ooh, interesting. So
They
a pretty aggressive mid-game lineup for 4FC.
they rather pick up a pretty hard counter to the lifesteal instead of picking the Phantom Lancer. Obviously Bane because of his first ability, which just takes so much damage away from lifesteal, and then the Fiend's Grip, his ultimate, which goes through the rage, so that's always great to just take lifestealer out of the fight for 5 seconds if he can channel it completely. And then Magnus and his reverse polarity, I guess that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, now whether Bane will get to channel that, right now it looks pretty good because there's no stuns on PR. We have to assume they're going to pick some up, but the chances of him being able to channel it are significantly higher. They will go for a Rubik now. A smart choice, I feel. You can steal that Fiend's Grip, you can steal Vacuum, and of course the RP. The wall's nice, but not really that reliable. Surge is also quite useful for a hero like Lifesteal to help him stay in range. So a nice combo here, a good counter to Darkseer at the laning stage, and a strong choice overall. They don't go for the Shadow Demon, though, who I feel is a bit more of a stable pick, especially against Darkseer, because you can just, once you get that level 6, Surge is not going to help you escape, and sometimes Telekinesis Lift isn't enough to secure the kills. So, well, they go for the stronger, high-impact late-game support. Let's see how it pans out, but we are going to see the PL ban that you were talking about, so thank God, no more Phantom Lancers.
I'm very glad about that. But that also means that 4FC need another carry, and at this point, there's still Gyrocopter and Luna if they want to go with something popular, or if they want to pick their Alchemist. I'd be happy to see something like that.
Yeah, it's hard to say, and I wonder, they still have Curly, and Curly's been the carry player for them, so I think he'll still be on that role. There's also a Lone Druid, who's quite a strong choice in this game, because you're up against Lifestealer, and obviously Entangle is one of the best abilities in the game to deal with him. They do have a lane that they could put the Lone Druid in. Darkseer can either offlane or just start in the jungle. Mag can go mid. And, well, the Mag versus Queen of Pain matchup, Queen of Pain is going to win that if played correctly. Also, we'll have to see. Mag can always Bottle Crow, get his levels early, but for PR, could maybe think about an aggressive tri-lane. We'll have to see how the rest of the draft develops. But Leicester Rubik +1, if you want to go aggressive and there's no Keeper of the Light on the enemy team, is certainly viable.
So what is there left to pick? You know, since I watched G-League, I really realized how little junglers we actually have left. We see Enigma so rarely now in Chen and Enchantress. I'd love to see those heroes again. I just came to think of it because they banned Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet can go everywhere, literally.
Yeah, Chen was like the most important hero in that matchup. I mean, I think IG won every single game where they banned Chen, I want to say. Or they might have won one where they didn't ban him. No, the one game where they didn't ban him, they picked him and they lost. That's right. So every game where they banned him, they won. But yeah, Chen not nearly as important for the most part in the Western scene nowadays, which is interesting because he really used to be. I mean, the Na'Vi, like, shortly after the International won, and I guess like that 4 or 5 months after that, was always playing the Chen. They used to play him back in the DTS days before there was a Na'Vi. Is quite a powerful hero. And, well, we are going to see a Chen ban. So 4FC, it looks like they're a little bit worried about the offensive tri-lane with the Lifesteal Rubik Chen, as they're a little bit vulnerable to that. They have quite a kind of a weak laning lineup. Darkseer Mag are okay in the lanes, but they need a lot of levels before they can really come into play. And whereas PR at level 2 or 3, they can start going for kills. And obviously the Prophet ban, a great choice, because we've seen the Lifesteal Prophet bombs. Like you said, he can go anywhere.
To come back to the Chen quickly, because I actually did a draft analysis on G-League, taking all games by the grand final. And Chen was the hero with the biggest win rate. So he won, I think, 9 out of 11 games. He's still a strong hero, it's just that teams prefer to play some different aggression with like a Lina and a Bane and a Magnus and just big wombo combo, not so much this split pushing, early pushing anymore.
You know, I wonder with the Chen statistics, do you remember offhand which teams are picking him? Because I feel like a hero like Chen, teams who run him have a very specific way that they plan to use him, whereas, you know, other heroes you can pick something like Rubik and you don't necessarily have a well-thought-out game plan. He's just a good, well-rounded hero. But with Chen, he's a good, well-rounded hero, but you really want to know exactly how you plan to use him. So I feel like maybe the stats are a little biased, or at least I'd be interested to see if it's like a wide variety of teams playing or if it's just a select few that run him a lot.
I'm afraid I really only looked at numbers, so I didn't look into teams as well, because it was so little games that it's hard to get something statistically significant out of it if you look at 5 teams.
But that is quite a good win rate, to be fair.
Yeah, it is. And I also only took heroes which were picked multiple times, so that there's not like, I don't know.
A two for two hero or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like a Bloodseeker picked once. Like Bloodseeker has a 100% win rate in the D2L, I think, because he was picked twice. So you can't put those hero into a statistic pool.
I remember when Spirit Breaker used to have a 100% win rate. Oh, how the times have changed. And a Silencer from Power Rangers. Interesting choice. They're up against
Arguably.
a lot of spells, RP. I mean, this is a strong Chainstone combo for 4FC, so I think the Silencer could be a nice choice. I hate seeing this hero played as support, though. It's going to drive me insane if I do. I just think there are much better options for supports because his ult has such a long cooldown, and he doesn't really bring as much to the average everyday engagement as other supports. But let's see how they're going to lane him.
Remaining.
Now we still need a carry for 4FC, and I'm still gonna go with the
5
Luna.
seconds remaining.
Although she also has a casting ultimate, so maybe they don't want to get that anymore. And I totally agree with having Silencer played as a semi-carry or carry. And there's the Luna. Because usually you use a support to make kills early on, and he really doesn't do that. He doesn't have a stun, he doesn't have a disable, he has a silence, a lot of silences. So he can be so annoying, especially against mana-heavy lineups, which, I mean, Darkseer likes mana, Bane likes mana, Lina likes mana.
Even a hero like Mag is quite mana greedy as well.
And I recently played against the Silence and a pub as
10
Skeleton
seconds
King, and it was
Oh
horrible.
man, oh no, that's the worst. I mean, the only thing that's worse than that
5
is playing against an
seconds
anti-mage
remaining.
as a Skeleton King. But Silence
Don't
was
worry,
pretty close.
there was a Nyx and a Lion, I think, in the enemy team as well.
Wow.
I got my ulti off once, I think.
Sounds like people are sniping you.
I think I streamed the game, and I picked the Skeleton King early, and then people were like, we need to counter pick this.
Oh,
Never
no.
pick Skeleton King early, it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's a very situational pick at best. Well, PR, let's see if they want to run the Silencer as a semi-carry. They definitely can. You can throw Queen of Pain in the safe lane, give Silencer mid. He can go off lane, but he's not going to match up that well against Darkseer, but just because of the creep skipping. And Silencer doesn't have any sort of heal, so he'll take a lot of damage from the lane.
10
But
seconds.
let's see. Enigma the choice, so, well, it could be a Lady Enigma. It could be a Jungle Enigma. They don't have a strong solo off lane. Enigma can do it in a pinch, but he's not the best. It looks like we're going to have a remake. Yeah, okay, we're going to have a quick remake after the picks, they said. So Enigma, the final choice. Interesting.
I love Enigma, I think he's a great hero. And also, they had a lot of farming heroes. If they want to farm the Silencer, they need to use the woods, else they can't get enough gold on every hero. They want to have farmed Queen of Pain, Silencer, if they play him as a semi-carry, and on Nakes.
I'm just reading. God's apparently likes horse jumping as well. So you've company here beyond the summit. I can't say I've ever watched it myself.
It's fun. I mean, watching dressage is really boring, I agree. But jumping, like, you really get in and then you're like faster, and it's exciting. I'm really not into sports like soccer. I think soccer is incredibly boring.
Yeah, soccer is not a good spectator sport. It's really fun to play, but I mean, penalty kicks are fantastic, are full of drama and tension. Sometimes in overtime it can be exciting if the teams are like really pressing the issue on offense, getting a lot of shots, but so many soccer games, just one team has the ball, they're controlling it, they're passing it around, they never even come close to a shot, it gets stolen, the other team does the
Back
same
and forth
thing,
and back
yada
and
yada.
forth.
Yeah, it's painful at times.
I don't get excited over it. I mean, when Germany's in the World Cup or Euro Cup finals pretty often, and then all the people are watching it, and I'm watching it with friends, and they all go super excited and start yelling at the TV, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, okay.
I
But
get it.
Dota gets me really excited. It's funny.
You and me both. I'm trying to conserve my voice for later today, and, well, it's certainly good to have you aboard in that respect. We'll see how it goes. Any predictions on this game, having had a chance to see the draft unfold? And this is one of the slower drafts I've seen in recent memory.
I think I'm gonna favorite the Silencer just because he's a cool hero, but in like serious analysis of the draft, it's usually hard to say because both teams got good heroes. The Silencer is a great counter pick, but if they play him as a support and don't get levels on him, if he gets his ulti around 15 minutes, that may be too late. So I think we need to see a couple of minutes of the game before we can clearly say who this draft is going to favor.
Yeah, for 4FC, let's see. I'm trying to remember who they had: a Darkseer and a Mag.
Magnus.
So they could run an offensive tri-lane with the Darkseer. You can actually run Bane, Lina, Darkseer. It's a really strong tri-lane. You can creep skip. You have the sleep to set up the stun. You could find early kills. Luna can solo versus Enigma. Especially if she's pulled, has an easy time of it. And if the Enigma misplays, I actually cast a game for Orange Esports where Kachik Imba, the sixth man for the roster, was playing versus solo Enigma and just crushed him. But we'll see if that's the matchup. And then, of course, your Mag can go mid. Or they could just play it defensively, Darkseer in the jungle, defensive tri-lane, and Mag mid and abandon the off-lane. So they have their options. Darkseer can head towards bottom, but could have some trouble in the early levels. With that being said, Maruna, let's introduce the teams. On the side of 4FC, we have Boomski playing the Lina, Ares Loco on the Darkseer, Noez on the Mag, Iconoclast, the Manager, Matrim, or Matrim as you called him, and Krilly on the Luna.
Yeah, great. And you left me the team with the captain on the Queen of Pain with a lot of slashes as his name.
Yeah.
Do you know who that guy is?
I'm going to find out right now.
Okay, we have another
It's ZXC.
interesting name on Enigma. I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but you can maybe hover your camera over it. It has a lot of C's and H's in it.
Sure.
We have Moon, that's nice to pronounce, on the Lifestealer Kate, on Silencer, and NNI on Rubik.
So they're defending their own jungle. Looks like they're probably not going aggressive tri-lane. And, well, I mean, it makes sense. They have a Silencer. They can't really go aggressive, so most likely we're going to see that mid Queen of Pain, the Enigma jungling, and then I guess they're not going to really... They're going to be running the Silencer as a support. He's got Sentry, or he's got a smoke picked up. He's not going to be getting any farm because of the way their lanes are developing, and it's a little unfortunate, but they don't have a lineup to go aggressive. When you look at their heroes, Silencer doesn't offer you anything in aggressive tri-lane. Curse of the Silent is annoying, but it doesn't really win you the lane, per se. You're not going to get any kills with that, and generally that's what you're on the aggressive tri-lane for.
The battle begins.
So we get a little bit of a defensive early game by the looks of it. And Darkseer is going to find an Invis rune bottom, but he probably can't do a lot with that since he's Darkseer. But where is he? He's going jungle. So they're indeed not going to have an hero in the off lane at all, because Darkseer just gets a lot more out of the jungle.
Yeah, the Darkseer and the Enigma can pretty much farm equally quickly early on. Eventually, I think the Darkseer outstrips him a little bit, but through the core levels, which is from like level 1 to 7 or so, they're quite even. Enigma has a bit of an edge, but Darkseer doesn't fall too far behind. So both teams can get similar amounts out of the jungle, and if we see proper pulling and stacking, that's what it's going to come down to. So, well, not quite G League Dota yet, but it is going to be a very passive start.
Yeah, and I think the hero we need to keep our eyes on in this game is Silencer, because if he doesn't get early levels and a little bit of farm, he is not going to be able to do anything. He's just going to be a walking ultimate if he ever gets level 6. Else it's just going to be 4 and 5 with a ultimate on cooldown half of the game.
Yeah, both teams are being pretty efficient so far. Rubik is stacking the big neutral. Silencer pulled the standard pull camp. Darkseer has not done any stacking yet, but that's what you want to do because you can actually kill the big camp. Although I'm surprised he didn't just start with it. You can actually just start with the big camp at level 1 and kill it. And, well, he's going to do that now. Now he goes for the small camp. So I'd say slightly suboptimal jungling, but not too big of a deal. He'll still farm quite quickly, and Silencer is going to get the pull off. So good thing he went to the jungle because there is going to be nothing for him in the lane.
Yeah, and the only actual laning competition we have is in middle. And that is going heavily in favor of Queen of Pain. Although she isn't going for that super early bottle, she got some more regen. But Magnus is just a melee hero against Queen of Pain with all that burst and Shadow Strike damage. It's just annoying.
Yeah, it's just not possible for Mag to win this lane unless he manages to skewer Queen of Pain into his tower. But that's really hard nowadays with the 600 range skewer. Rubik's going to TP top, looking to slow this push down. Krilly did opt for an early Reign of Basilius, and Lina taking some tower harassment. We'll probably see a Fade Bolt here momentarily. Bane looking for a sleep, but a little bit far to dive. He'll back off. Boomski's taking the tower, taking a lot of damage. This tower is not quite in deny range. I'm not sure why they're forcing the issue so much, but they will back off now and probably can kill it with the next wave. Meanwhile, Darkseer, seeing the Rubik is top, is just going to go bottom, and now he's going to get a lot of farm and levels, and I don't think this is really a great trade because Rubik cannot stop the push, whereas Darkseer can.
Yeah, also Darkseer just going bottom because the open wounds is not going to do anything against him. He can just surge away, and the silencer, we talked about that. What can he do? The Enigma can stun him, but I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, so he's just going to the lane because he's getting a lot more, and he's also denying a little bit of farm
Here
from
we
the
go.
lifesteal.
There's the sleep to start. The stun to follow is going to hit. Lucid Beam on top of this and a couple of auto attacks. There's your Brain Sap. Down he'll go. And the Rubik's rotation top, it hurts. Silencer will come in bottom, but not even going to nuke the right unit. Doesn't even manage to get off that cursive, or that last word on the Darkseer. Clicks on a creep. A Blitz Dota Doom, if I've ever seen one. Mid lane. Oh, mid lane. Queen of Pain could go. Oh, had the kill there. Didn't want to die, though, but definitely had the kill.
I think one of the reasons the top lane is doing so well is because we have 3 ranged heroes and we have Luna Blessing.
Yeah.
And as soon as Luna starts leveling that up more, which she's gonna do now, that's gonna be a lot of damage on the heroes. And does it work on ranged creeps as well? I'm a bit confused with all that auras.
I believe it. I want to say it does. I know the Drow Ranger
It says
does.
allies,
I
so
guess
you're never
it
really
looks like
sure.
they're not getting the damage though. Mid lane, here we go. Queen of Pain gets slept after her blink, and that means a very, very dead Queen of Pain. There's your stun, and the skewer is going to be used in the end. Could have just shockwave to secure the kill, but a nice movement from 4FC. So they lose their mid. They've already given up first blood on the side of PR, and the trades is the 2 junglers getting similar amounts. Darkseer's almost 5, Enigma well slightly behind, but not too bad. I really think they would have been much better off just leaving the Rubik bottom, because when they saw Rubik top, Darkseer said, great, you're not going to kill me bottom, I'm going to go get free experience, and that's exactly what he's doing.
And now Rubik might even be in trouble again because Lena's coming in from the side. Not sure if it's gonna work without the Bane though, but they can surely scare him back at least. And I mean, he has 4 last hits, he's not gonna get a lot out of this. And how's Silencer doing? Silencer is level 3 with 6 last hits.
There you go. Manages to click on Ares
trouble.
Loco. He's actually leveling up Curse of the Silence, but there's your Malefice. Ares Loco probably gonna die. That's a 2 points of Malefice, or 3 points rather, enough to get the double stun, and down will go. So they at least get the kill, but Darkseer's already doing his job. He forces Lifesteal out of lane. Lifesteal a bit behind the Luna, gonna miss a few more creeps here just because he rotated over. The good news, Queen of Pain continues to dominate mid. 29-3 to the 18-3 of Magnus, and we'll have to see. A lot of the mid game for PR is gonna rest on the shoulders of this Queen of Pain.
Actually, if we look at the hero level chart on E, it looks like the Dire support is a little bit behind now. Because they're just rotating a lot around and trying to get kills, and do get kills, but it doesn't give them as much experience as the Radiant supports get through just stacking and pulling.
Yeah, Darkseer's going to get a lot of experience bottom now, so that'll help to equalize things a bit. But they are a little bit behind. It's not too big of a deal at the moment. We'll have to see. But 4FC is very level dependent. If you look at their lineup, Luna obviously needs a lot of levels. Whoops, lost control of my camera there. Enigma, or of course Darkseer and Magnus are quite level dependent as well. So losing in the early leveling game can hurt them quite a bit. And Silencer up to level 4. He's on track for, say, a level 9, a 9-minute level 6 or so, and that could be quite potent against 4FC. If you get that silence off at the right time, maybe Luna doesn't get to Eclipse, Mag doesn't get to RP, and that can completely turn the tides of the fight. The ult is powerful. You just have to find the right openings to use it.
Yeah, we also see a Hand of Midas on Luna, so there's not going to be an early BKB or Yasha, so if they want to make kills happen in mid-game, they can do it, because Hand of Midas gives you levels, gives you gold, and a little bit of attack speed, but apart from that, doesn't really give you anything against an Axe or a Queen of Pain.
Typical Krilly.
Of course.
I guess if his name is literally in the team's name, then it makes sense. Bottom lane, Darkseer's going to try to surge away, and they're leading with the Silencer instead of the Rubik, so he will escape in the end. Just didn't... a little bit poor communication there. Darkseer wasn't about to run until he saw the Silencer, then he surged away. So if Rubik had gone first, they would have definitely had a much better shot at the kill, and, well, a mistake for them in the end is going to cost them.
Also, Silencer just tried to TP into the top tier 2 tower, then had to cancel because he was obviously against 2 higher level enemies, and now Rubik TP'd in because Silencer's TP is on cooldown for a minute now, and he wasted gold. Since he's a support, 135 gold are quite a bit for him.
Yeah, he would have his boots now if it wasn't for all those TPs. Meanwhile, middle lane, while that was happening, Mag did use his RP, I believe set up by Sleep from the Bane. Skewers in, RP secures the kill with the Shockwave, and Nice job by them. This Queen of Pain dominated the lane, but has not really made her presence felt on the map. Now we'll go back for a Bracer, worried about all the burst damage of 4FC. This is not your standard Queen of Pain build. If you go for anything, it's normally no talismans or just the early treads. Meanwhile, the wrapper on top.
And Bane is going in top.
Yeah, here comes Matron. He's going to start with the sleep on the Rubik. Where's that follow-up? They need that Light Strike array, and it'll come. Queen of Pain is here, though. Unloads the ult. Krillia's going to melt. Almost gets slashes for his trouble, but not enough in the end. Can chase Boomski. Not going to do so. Going to go back the other way. Once the Bane, the Malefice will be there, so they let the one support escape instead to get the Bane. Still, they get 2 for 1. So when it's all said and done, not a bad trade, and they also got the Luna. Midas had already been used, but still, a Luna kill definitely going to be worth it.
And that's what I mean. If they have a Hand of Midas on Luna, they shouldn't be super aggressive, because after all, they're still an Enigma, and Enigma came in the right time. If they want to dive that far, they maybe need some more wards out in the jungle to really keep track on Enigma, because he is a black hole. And that black hole and a couple of conversions are enough to kill up the Luna at this moment. And I don't want to lose Luna that much.
This
It's the carry.
Yeah. Lifestealer is farming very well, but has not gone for a Hand of Midas, which I find a bit curious. This game, when the lanes developed, it was a very passive start. They do have a strong hero in the Queen of Pain to move the Lifestealer around the map, so if they want to go for early kills, they can, but going Midas is not that risky when you're Lifestealer, because you already have Rage, you already have Infest. Sure, you're a little bit less tanky, you can't join the fights quite as early, but if you look at 4FC, they're going mid-game anyway, and your team did an aggressive tri-lane, so I think the Midas might have been the better way to go, but we'll have to see. If he can make some kills happen with this armlet, I'll be eating my words. So 4FC groups 3 heroes up bottom, they've de-warded the lane, they know there's nobody who can see them, but they also can't find a kill. Now they're going to back off. That Global Silence is about to come, so it looks like it'll be more like a 10.5 minute Global Silence, and fortunately for PR, they haven't really needed it too badly yet.
Interesting to see that Enigma rotated into the enemy's jungle while Silence is farming their jungle now, so he's too scared to be in the lane, and that forces Enigma top. But Enigma is doing well. He has Soul Ring and is on his way to mech, and that's going to help the team a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty much rushing that mech. You can, in fact, disassemble the Tranquil Boots, get that extra ring of protection if you need to. Although he's opted not to, so maybe we'll even see him go for something like a pipe this game. Generally, you'd expect the mech, and he will pick up the buckler now, so just a little extra regen. I personally would prefer to see him disassemble the Tranquil Boots and not have the completed Tranquil Boots and Headdress. I don't think he really needs that much HP regen, but we'll see. For the moment, not being pressured at all. They're still smoked up on 4FC, trying to find a kill, but good anticipation from PR. Enigma will back off, so both teams trading, and when it comes to gold, the Dire have a slight edge, but that's pretty much just the tier 1 top talking, and as far as experience, a slight edge for the Radiant, but still very much anyone's game.
Also, the levels are still okay. Luna is actually not the highest level yet, although she has a Midas, but apart from that, the supports are all level 5 now, so all ultis are gonna be up in acceptable time. I've seen worse in competitive games. I've seen Tidehunters at level 5 at 20 minutes. So this is actually a good game for the supports.
I've seen some very sad Tidehunters. I think Tidehunter's the hero where you notice it the most, and yeah, I've seen some very sad Tidehunters myself as well. They're going to group up top again, this time looking at the tier 2. The Midas coming off cooldown. Krilly will certainly use that immediately. And is Enigma going to TP in? I believe he has Black Hole. It hasn't been used yet this game. They will glyph. They're walking in. It looks like they want to contest this. The Eidolons will be deployed, slowing down the push. Most likely, if you're PR, you see that Enigma, you got to figure there's other backup coming, but they're not backing up yet. Queen of Pain is here, an additional TP. They've got to run now. They have to know, but it's too late. The damage is done. Bane is going to take a fall. Others might drop. If they try to defend him, they won't. Wisely, they'll back off. But they did force multiple TPs and a 4-hero rotation. If you're PR now, you really want to push top. The tower will be denied, though, and they're going to be forced back. Meanwhile, the pressure comes in mid. The pressure comes in bottom. So all things considered, giving up a Bane death, they're getting decent trades for it elsewhere on the map.
Yeah, the deny tower is not the best thing, but now Silencer has his armlet, so we'll see if he continues farming or if he's just gonna go full out aggression now, because he's strong in late game and he's so strong in mid game as well. Open wounds is such a good slow, and with all the extra burst damage coming out from Queen of Pain, she's actually going bottom on Darkseer, but Darkseer is being Darkseer.
Yeah, exactly.
But Darkseer is close to his mech as well.
Oh, Mag did pick up a haste rune, and he's chasing Nini here. Nini tried to grab that, tried to jack it from him. There is an RP. If he can find 2, he's looking for the shockwave. He'll get 1 kill. Will he go for more? He's going to back off in the end, it looks like. but was thinking about it. He's got the blink. They have to be careful. Silencer, what you doing? Running in, just begging to be slaughtered. Noah says, sure, feed me. Why the hell not? Skewers in, double for Mag, and that one was easy to claim. Enigma might even be the next one. Why? There's still an RP. How many kills can Mag get with this single haste rune? No, it looks like the haste will wear off. That'll be the end of his shenanigans. In fact, he's in a bit of trouble here. There's a black hole. Skewer's cooling down in 12 seconds. The ult will fly forth. Where's that sleep? Has not been used yet. Oh no, Bane's gonna block. Sleeps one, but doesn't sleep. The Queen of Pain will probably sacrifice his life. So both teams throwing away lives that did not have to be sacrificed. Certainly not like this. Bane has Brain Sap. May be able to live for a while, but there's so many stuns. He's gonna go down eventually. Will drop. Yep, there you go. And meanwhile in bottom lane, some pressure towards Darkseer. While this is happening, Curly back towards top, has the Ogre Club. The tier 2's down, so he's going to keep on pushing and applying pressure to this lane.
Interesting fight, and that is what I was talking about during the draft, that if you have those kind of teams with a lot of stand-ins, it can get interesting.
A little cloudy. A little cloudy.
Yeah, it's not the most high-quality fights we've ever seen, but it's interesting because we can learn things from it. For example, Silencer could have tried to ulti there to get away from all the shockwave and skewered, but maybe it wouldn't have been worth it, so he decided to rather keep the spell, which has a super long cooldown, because he feels like there's going to be team fights coming up and he needs it now.
Oh no, Matrum's going to find the opening with the Fiend script. They smoked in for this one, and Kot is going to die. Still has not got a chance to use that ultimate. It's been about a minute and a half since he last died to the Mag. That's about half of the ult's cooldown duration, as it is 140 seconds to cooldown at all levels. So, I mean, the issue with that big Loba ult, you want to save it for the right fight, but while you're saving it, that's time that it's not spending cooling down. He probably could have used it twice by now, almost, if he had used it initially, and instead getting really nothing out of the silencer pick. I'm really not convinced by it. They had Lifesteal Rubik. That's such a strong, aggressive tri-lane if they wanted to do it, but, well, the way things are going, they're not taking advantage. Mid lane, onto Ares Loco. There's a black hole. There's a mech, but it looks like they're going to back the Infest from Moon just to try and run away. Mag has Blink. Mag is Skewer. Not going to go for a tower. Not denied mid either. The Eidolon's just too much damage to actually time that last hit properly.
Well, there were 2 Eidolons and 3 heroes around. I think they could have gotten that, but they rather were looking for heroes to pick off, but the Rubik TP'd out at the side. And now Luna is going to be in trouble, top.
Big dive from the Enigma, but it's going to eat an Eclipse. Will mech up. Still, they're both almost going to die. Oh, Curly almost scores the double. And they just weren't in range for the ult there. In fact, he may die to the Shadow Strike. Is he going to... Oh, he's got a wand. He's got a mech from the Darkseer. The medical assistance there when you need it.
I just like how Luna can turn around those 2-on-1 engagement with that Eclipse. It's similar a bit to a Lich ultimate. But you see, she was down to so little life and she still managed to kill off 1 hero and almost kill off the Enigma.
Denied.
The thing that's unique about Luna is, unlike a Lich, she's a carry. I mean, Lich can do that, but he's a support and, you know, often could just get burst down very quickly. But Curly, not so easy to kill. If that was a level 2 ultimate, that's a double kill, and he is level 11 now after that Queen of Pain kill. And that's a big hero to die. It wasn't just a support. I also want to point out in that fight, they should have really had Eidolons there. If you're going to dive a Luna, bring 3 Eidolons in, then you're never going to die to a level 1 Eclipse. Certainly not with 2 heroes and a mech, but, well, it wasn't a perfectly executed gank again, and they pay for it. And now the gank's coming, the push is coming bottom, but there's no tier 1 up, and it looks like PR just played very passively. They have not really used the full potential of the Queen of Pain and Lifesteal combo yet. There's a Fiend Script on Moon, under the creeps, the stun, no, the Global Silence from Kot. This time it'll get used, it will bail out the Lifestealer. And I think certainly worthwhile use. But let's see if 4FC takes advantage and tries this.
Yeah, they have a Magnus with an Invis rune, and is there something better than an Invis Magnus jumping in and skewering everyone out? But they're not gonna find anyone. They're just walking around a lot at the moment, the 2 supports. And they also don't have a lot if you look at Bane and Lena. They both don't have a lot of items. And Magnus is still walking back and forth.
Yeah, well, the Lena may be poor, but the Bane, Rubik, and Silencer are just impoverished this game. That's some of the poorest supports I've ever seen. Ares Loco taking a lot of damage from those Eidolon. Queen of Pain will blink in, tosses the ult out. The RP on 2, though, he didn't actually kill up the Darkseer, and now the Black Hole is channeled. Will kill 1, brings in the Bane as well, who's dropping low, should be falling momentarily. There's no Fiend Script. Oh, they're letting the Bane get away to focus on the Lena instead. She will drop. She's slightly more highly leveled. Maybe they can get the Bane as well. They need the vision. Oh, the long range infest. I'm always baffled at the range of that spell. If you actually hover over it, it's absolutely tiny, but
Yeah,
The
but that's
reason for it
just
is
the range you get in.
yeah, that's just the going in range, not the popping out. So that's the reason for it. But yikes, that hurts. So in the
They
end,
could
a
have
good
killed.
fight for PR.
Yeah, they could have killed. I think it was the Bane a bit earlier because Rubik stole Shockwave and he actually missed. So a slight misplay from him, but they still got a lot of kills out of that. And Luna is back to farming, farming, farming. They really need her in those kind of fights. They need that Eclipse. And I think she just bought a full BKB, yes.
It may have just cooled down. She did use it in that last engagement. At level 1, when you use it, it has almost a 3-minute cooldown, which is insanely long, but not having the Eclipse there in that fight definitely hurt them. The good news is, like you said, the BKB is coming quite soon. In fact, is already out. And, well, let's see if they push with this. They have Eclipse. They don't have RP, but RP, really a low cooldown for a big ult, and it's going to be ready by the time they get mid.
And there's also going to be a refresher of coming up on Magnus. He actually has the highest net worth on the map at the moment and has a Perseverance. So we're going to see 2 reverse polarities.
I'm not
sometime
really
soon.
convinced about this build. I'd much rather see a BKB because you're up against Global Silence and Queen Pena here who can go Orchid, but actually went Drums. Just really worried about her survivability this game, which makes sense when you look at 4FC's lineup. But just being up against the Global Silence, I think the BKB is the better choice here. That way you make sure you can always get your ult off at the right moment.
Maybe they want to play a little bit more wombo combo and just have it ready, and when they feel like they're in a good position and killed the Silencer earlier, then they just can pressure it. And we've seen the Silencer getting picked off because he's playing carefully. And maybe they're waiting for that, or maybe they're just gonna jump on Silencer instead.
That's why I think the best way to play Silencer is just to sit at base if you're a support Silencer. Sit in the foul and they'll never prevent you from getting off your ult.
Yeah, you should make a party there with Ancient Apparition and Zeus.
Yeah, the 3 of them. Ares Loco hunting for Moon, will not find him. Actually throws a casual vacuum out into the trees, just fishing a little bit. Enigma, speaking of wombo combos, has a blink of his own. So we're looking at a blink black hole. If Rubik can steal RP, suddenly team fight for 4FC, pretty amazing.
And Nakes is going for a Basher, so that's going to be nice for chasing, because Luna is one of the fastest heroes in the game, and if she gets a Yasha up, she's just going to be running away on that BKB. Basher also nice because it can get turned into an Abyssal Blade, and that goes through Luna's BKB, or Magnus' BKB, if it decides to go for one after all.
I'm still really not the way they're playing is just so defensive. They're really focusing on farming a lot. I think the Midas, by this point, he could have all these items plus a Midas with ease. Moon has not been under any pressure this game at all, but, well, he's still got some decent core items up yet. Let's see if they can get anything going. Haven't seen the Queen of Pain and Fest combo either. That's something else that is really strong about their lineup. You can blink in on heroes like Lina and Bane and just burst them down immediately, especially that Lina, but for the moment, just sitting back and farming. Not really, neither team really forcing any fights.
No, it's a really passive and slightly chaotic game still, because look at the Lina, she's so far into the enemy's territory and they just don't care, they're killing off the ancient stack in the meantime. And that's a bit of a weird play, because when you would see this in like a Na'Vi game, when Na'Vi play against this Lina would be dead within seconds, and they rather kill the ancient stack.
Yeah,
and have their tier 2
safe.
pushed.
And yeah, I mean, like you said, they're allowing a lot of pressure on that bottom lane. Also, their entire jungle is warded on the side of PR. They're down about 4k gold. Experience-wise, it's even, so they're not really in that much of a deficit. But you have a Blink Mech Enigma. You have a Lifestealer who rushed an Armlet Basher who didn't go for a farming build. And your Queen of Pain went Drums into Ogre Club. You've gone for very early to mid-game items. Take advantage of that and force a fight. But they're not doing it yet. They're still sitting back. And when you're up against RP, perhaps it's understandable, but if that's your feeling, why not get greedy in the laning stage? So, 4FC pressuring the lanes. Meanwhile, Krilly free farming. The BKB has been off, and now something else. I think a Yasha? Oh no, not this. Boots of Travel are up. Krilly, always so greedy. This guy has to be the greediest player I've ever seen.
By the way, do you want to play the game where we count all the wards on the map?
Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, big fight bottom lane while I'm counting wards. Damn you, Maruna. Noah's gets Bane ulted. It was actually stolen by the Rubik, but he will be slept to disable it. Still fishing for a black hole. Is this Enigma? Only catches the darks here. And actually the mag just on the tail end will go down to the last word. Now the Lina lifted up, thrown back down, will fall. That was not a fun game. As soon as I started playing it, I knew that something was happening. I was like, no.
Looks like all those wards didn't help them after all.
Yeah, you'd really think they wouldn't get surprised, but I don't think they were ready for the Blink Enigma in the end.
And are you surprised it's another fight without Luna? She rather wants to farm, and split push a little bit. But at this point, Luna is... She's a late game carry, but she's also strong in mid game with all that Eclipse and BKB.
There are better carries if you just want to farm. If you just want to farm, the Phantom Lancer,
Pick Medusa.
the Anti-Mage, the Medusa... Yeah. Even Medusa at this point would start to get a little bit scary with the amount of farm Krilli's gotten. I mean, at this point, you could easily have a Lincoln Sphere, and then be looking at your next damage item, maybe something like a Yasha up as well. So, well, we'll have to see. And especially when you go BKB, because if you want to split push, Yasha is the better choice. There are some abilities that can kill you, but you're not under any pressure, so... A little bit, it seems like the decision-making not quite in sync with the way the teams are playing, but...
Also, if you go for Boots of Travel, I don't think it was on cooldown, so she could have just joined the team. Because there were creeps around.
It was definitely
it's
ready.
a bit weird.
Now
and even
Krilli
more
joins
wards
the
out on
fight.
the map.
Now he'll join the fight.
Play some more wards to go Roshan, and there he is because he can farm the Roshan.
Yes, give me the gold, King Midas says.
It looks like PR don't know this is going on. They will give this away.
Yeah, we'll have to see if this is going to be punished at all. It's just going to be a free Roche from the looks
Oh
of
well,
things.
they're trading a tower for it, but it's just a tier 1.
Yeah, it's definitely a trade that will favor 4FC. And now with the Aegis up on the Luna, you'd really think they can go fight. They don't have the double RP yet. Mag is going to go back for BKB because of the global silence, and I think it's a very wise choice. Just it's going to be delayed because he went for the Perseverance, but in the end is going to select the more reliable teamfight item.
I actually think both teams are completely ready to just go in and fight. Queen of Pain has her BKB up now. So what more are they waiting for? Are they wanna farm every hero full 6 slots? Luna has a Yasha now. So please, teams, make something happen.
But there's so many more items to be claimed. I mean,
So many more stacks to be farmed.
Your Mag doesn't even have his Refresher yet. Your Luna doesn't have her Manta or her Butterfly. It's way too early for my blood. I just don't think it should
no
happen.
Divine yet.
Yeah, no Divine. Maybe 30 minutes or so that we could see some action.
Yeah, until then let's just lean back and look at all the heroes killing creeps. Actually, they're getting pretty close to each other here in the jungle, but Lifestealer's gonna back off.
We have
No
22 kills 25 minutes in, but it honestly feels like 5 kills 22 minutes
Yes,
in, or
it
25
does.
minutes in. And I think
Like
it's
5 million wards.
5 million wards, and it's been like 3 or 4 big clashes. There haven't been that many small skirmishes either. Just very, very passive play. And I gotta say, I think that favors the team that's getting Roche and the team that went for an early Midas. But in spite of that, gold and experience are dead even. So we'll have to see in the end. Krilli has not really gone for many combat items. Midas and Travels do not help you fight. So we'll have to see if this... At what point he actually starts getting some damage and some actual useful...
Is there gonna be
items.
a fight? No, there's
No
not gonna be
way.
a fight. in the jungle.
No, that could not possibly
Just
happen.
take a second to look at the gold graph at the little boxes on bottom because it just proves what you say. Has been a little bit of fight, some pick-offs, but yeah, nothing really happening in the last
Queen of
2
Pain gets
minutes.
caught by the Fiend's Grip. Now, it's going to BKB. The Global Silence saves her, and the stun from the Light Strike Ray will be canceled because it would not accomplish anything here. She's still fighting. Now she'll blink away. Mag was thinking about a blink RP from low ground to high ground, but will back off in the end. So that Global Silence, used correctly, just discouraging further any possible fights. And now Rubik has a Blink Dagger. You know the game's passive when a support Rubik has a Blink Dagger this early in. And our first Lifesteal Bomb of the game, 26 minutes.
Also, just to point this out quickly, Magnus is going for a BKB. Looks like he listened to you, and he wants that magic immunity, and not a double RP yet.
Yeah, he actually got the Ogre Club a little while ago.
That's a defensive wall.
Yeah, well, they're just going to give it up, so that great trade. Hell, use the wall if they're going to give you the tier 2, why not? And without the Queen of Pain BKB, I think it's the right call. You don't really want to fight when she doesn't have her BKB. It's a little bit risky. She can be focused down quite easily, and very vulnerable to, say, tanky Eclipse damage. So, in the end, 4FC got a tier 2 in exchange for a Global Silence from PR and a BKB charge.
I feel like 4FC are pressuring a lot more and PR isn't getting anything for it. They're just farming, losing towers, losing an ultimate. And they're not winning this farming battle against the Midas.
This game needs
Because
more
Luna has
Midases.
her, yeah, has her Manta soon, and then she can finally buy the Divine. And then the game's gonna start, for real.
Well, no, after the Divine, she obviously needs a Butterfly so that she can actually put out that damage, that massive damage per attack a little bit more quickly, so... We may be at least 15 minutes off of some real combat.
Yeah.
Oi, oi, oi. Well,
At least the
Marina,
lifestealer.
what did you have for breakfast today?
What did I have? I had chocolate because it's weekend.
Sounds like a balanced breakfast.
Yes, and then I had family over, so there was even more eating and eating. It's weekend. Come on, that's what you do on weekend.
Eat chocolate for breakfast. Check.
How was your what is the game called again? Smash Brothers tournament. I didn't watch it because it was still morning when you started it, so I couldn't watch.
Fluff and Stuff had a really funny moment where he's fighting 1v2, and he said, "I got this," and then promptly his two opponents just like jumped off the level and killed themselves. I was like, man, you must be strong in the Force. And here's gonna come the Infest Bomb. Queen of Pain, infested up. Let's see if Slashes can make something happen. Lurking and waiting. Just as the BKB, no other big items, just right on the periphery. They're gonna let the tower fall. Now they go high ground onto the Bane. A prompt feed script, but the silence, the global silence, turning the fight around. Blinking from Enigma catches two. They can't get the RP off. Oh no! What a nice fight. Now Krilly gets bashed, unable to use his ultimate. Will come back after these messages with the Eclipse, but can he actually do enough damage with the Eclipse? Will pop it immediately. Goes to work, but Lifestealer's rage. The glaives are bouncing. That Midas, that boots of travel, not gonna help you fight your way out. In the end, he'll fall. And the power
Nice
of
team
the
wipe.
global silence. PR, very well executed team fight. They were about to get 3-4 hero RP'd, then the silence was there, and 4FC just got smashed.
And even the wall was there, and the vacuum was there, but apart from the lifesteal, the illusions don't deal so much damage, so that was no problem. And I think the black hole also wasn't channeled fully, but it was enough time for the Nakes to just hit a couple of times, because he finished his Desolator now. He didn't have it in the fight yet, I think, but now it's gonna get even worse. And now it's 4FC getting pressured suddenly.
Unfortunately, I mean, 4FC's been playing a passive farm-oriented game, but they need multiple BKBs. Enigma, or actually, interesting, Mag has one, but he didn't get the RP off anyway, because I guess the Global Silence was cast after he BKB'd. Generally, you want to hold the BKB, wait until you get Global Silence. It will remove it, but Global Silence also goes through BKB, so he must have misused it at the wrong moment there. And, well, I think that pretty much cost them the fight. If he had RP'd, I think they take that fight.
RP is like one of the most important spells to hit. Even the most important one in a big team fight. Because PR can do fine without an Enigma Black Hole because they have so much burst damage that they don't need the big control. But the Magnus is doing so much because he's keeping all the other heroes away from the squishy supports, which is Luna is squishy as well, and Bane. So they need that to go off, else they don't have a chance, else they can't have Luna hitting with all her glaives, and she has a lot of damage, but if she gets Black Holed or held up in the air by Rubik, she can't do anything, and then the Hand of Midas and Boots of Travel are not gonna help you.
Well, she does have 16.7k net worth, yet still feels really poor. Luna at this point in the game, if she just had sort of standard items, would have the makings of her next big item, maybe even the Eagle Horn if you take away, you know, because sure, this Luna had the Midas, but died a few times because she's a bit squishier, so we'll have to see. Krilly still needs a few more items before he can really come into play, but the later the game goes, the Luna doesn't necessarily have the ability to outcarry Queen of Pain and Lifestealer because of the Abyssal Blade that goes through BKB and the fact that Queen of Pain could just hex the Lifestealer before the the Luna before the BKB even comes out. So I'm not too convinced that this Luna can carry late game. It's all really going to come down to the RPs. The Luna won't be able to 1v5 on her own. Oh, Rubik's going to start. The Infest Bomb. This was spotted by a ward, an instant assassination. The ward across the river does have enough vision for them to see that ban, and a nice kill.
I totally agree that they need the RP. If the RP doesn't go on 3, 4, 5 heroes and the Luna Glaives bounce between all of them, she's not dealing too much damage. Because they need those glaives, and I mean, if they hit a super RP right now, you'd be amazed at how much damage she's gonna deal. but with a magic immunity spell up on Lifestealer and a BKB up on Queen of Pain, even the Eclipse is not going to do that much anymore.
I just feel like it's kind of a waste of the Luna's potential to go for this farming build. If you want to do that, like we talked about, I mean, there's other heroes that can split push faster and benefit more from items. Heroes like, I mean, not so much Anti-Mage, but Phantom Lancer especially, who was available in the first stage of the drafting, got banned in the second. Well, they lose their tier 2 top. They're trying to counter push. Nice job by Curly, keeping the lanes pushed in, forcing PR back for the moment, stalling and stalling. If he can get a butterfly up, then his DPS will start to be quite significant, especially because the Lifestealer has not gone tanky, has just gone for damage items with Desolator, Basher, and most likely the Abyssal Blade coming next. And, of course, Queen of Pain, well, has gone tanky for Queen of Pain, but is still a Queen of Pain and can be burst down if you're able to focus her.
And we have Roshan up in less than a minute. So I think that's going to be our next big battlefield.
It's on our
Apart
list.
from that, I believe this is the game with the most wards ever placed. Too bad this isn't Warcraft 3, because then we could actually look at how many it is.
Yeah.
But just look at around Roche. 2 Sentry wards, 2 Observer wards. They like their vision. They like counter ward. It's like a support war. Who can counter ward better?
And where's my gem of True Sight? There's been a lot of opportunity for the supports to farm. How Rubik's got a blink and 1,600 gold. Your Silencer's got double bracers and treads and wand. There should really be a Drem on the Radiant side. And heck, on the Dire side, Lena's got a blink and a Drums. That is a rich support. Even the Bane, Ogre Club. Honestly, for me, I just don't understand it. But, well, we'll see. Krilly's got a DD, and he's going to go Roche now.
Uh-oh, and there's a Nyx inside Queen of Pain. They know this, and they're ready. But there is a sentry ward up from the Dire side, so they can see that smoke if they're coming closer.
Rubik has Blink Fiend's Grip as well, so they could instantly grab this Luna and look to pick her off. The Lifesteal Bomb is lurking. Spotted up by the sentry in the river. Are they still going to go? Blink's in. Not the best Blink. Probably going to get caught here by the Eclipse. Not used just yet. Back him into a big Eclipse, but will be enough. The BKB and the Rage from Lifestealer mean that the carries aren't taking damage. Now your Fiend's Grip still going. Oh no, that Eclipse enough to finish him off. The Global Silence came just a few seconds too late. Mag blinks in. Can't find the RP. Skewers onto the Silencer. Not really a core hero, but RP not going to be there. Now, the Black Hole up, but the Black Hole gets canceled, and now the RP will come. The Rubik, where the hell is he? Oh no. In the end, Lifestealer is going to fall. Buyback from 3 heroes on the Radiant side. Queen of Pain giving chase onto the Lina. Lina trying to run. Lina dropping low, but actually manning up a little bit. Blinks away, just dodges the shockwave. An additional curse thrown. How many heroes about back in this fight? A 4th buyback. This one from Krilly. All the big ults are on cooldown. No Black Hole, no RP, no Eclipse, no Feed Script for either side, as Rubik already died after using his. Interesting engagement for both teams, and well, in the end, gold-wise favors the Dire, experience-wise favoring them as well. And when you look at the fact that PR lost more heroes than triple buyback, bought back with 3, that's a pretty smashing success, really.
And now Nyx is taking Roshan, I believe. It's interesting because this time we actually saw Luna's strength. The Eclipse hit on one hero, then everyone ran away, and then it hit on Rubik a couple of times, but she didn't get that off probably, but she still dealt a lot of damage before she dropped.
Yeah, if that was a level 2 Eclipse, they would have probably been able to kill the Luna, because the reason the Rubik died was those additional few nukes. They find it, catch out Ares Loco. Can he surge away in time? He vacuums 3, and he doesn't have his ult for a few seconds time, and he's dropping low as a result. The Queen of Pain ult is on cooldown, though. Does have the BKB, has not used it. Lifestealer invests inside the Queen of Pain, who blinks away from the Mag. RP also cooling down. Not up just yet. Will they go back in once this BKB wears down from the Luna? We'll have to see. Rubik still fishing for a spell to steal, cannot find it. There was an additional buyback, this time from the Darkseer. We'll come right back. We're still fighting over this damn Roche. It's like the armistice is over, and the war has begun anew. Oh.
And Queen of Pain buys Hex.
And oh, what a time to pick up a Hex. Boomski's
Lina,
just gonna melt.
doing?
That was a bold move. RP on 2. There is a skewer. Not using it yet. Maybe used at the end to finish off the kill. Doesn't skewer. The Queen of Pain will escape, but Luna actually man-fighting with Silencer. That's not a fight the Silencer can hope to win. On the back lines, it's an army of Eidolons delivering the volleys, delivering the damage. Only Dragon Slave was stolen. And now comes the nuke. They have the Eclipse up again. There's a blink. Where's the skewer? I think it's still on cooldown. Yeah, for 18 seconds it is. Now the Eclipse flies out. Just wants the kill. An additional buyback from Lina this time. So everyone, pretty much like 7 or 8 heroes have bought back for this single Roche. And I think at last it's going to go with the way of the Radiant, as being Black Hole, Enigma's Black Hole is still on cooldown.
This was really nice played by the Bane because he stayed out of fight. There was an RP on the Nakes, and then they got the Fiend Script up on the Nakes as well, so he was out of fight for a long time and dropped. And if there's no Nakes, who's gonna deal the damage apart from Queen of Pain?
And the big thing as well, to sort of piggyback what you're saying, is Krilly didn't die during either of those fights. So it really was a great engagement for 4FC in the end. The Bane played well, got the Luna super fat, and with a Butterfly and a Manta, now Krilly is really going to start to hurt. Plus, he's got Aegis. So even though he's a bit squishier than a Luna would be at this point in the game, that's okay. He's got 2 lives to work with.
While the heroes are going back to farm, did you see Pyrion Flag's latest video? Where he's talking about Delta Split?
No, I've not seen it.
This game reminds me so much of it, you need to watch it later. It's hilarious. It's just, I think he released it this morning or something. It's great, he's talking about advanced techniques. You can learn a lot from that.
I can always learn a lot from my man P-Flex. Refresher Orb now up on the mag as well. So he's got double BKB, double RP, and double
Can you do that to the BKB, are you sure?
Yeah, it does work on the BKB.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it does reduce the duration though, so...
Okay.
Yeah,
it was the
rearm
not working on
work.
BKB.
That's
That's
right.
what I confused. And there's another Nakes bomb, and they're gonna spot... Oh, Luna.
Oh, Luna gets hexed.
Oh,
Luna is so royally screwed. And has the Aegis. Can they fight on round 2? There is a black hole. Will Enigma go for it here? He's going to back off. They're going to play it safe. And wisely they do, because there's a double RP, which could potentially just destroy them in this fight. But they get the Aegis and they get out. That was a tactical strike. Delta Force-esque? I don't know if it was a Delta Split, but some Special Forces action there.
It was a really nice, quick pick-off. They didn't overstay their welcome. They didn't try to make a big team fight happen after this. They got out, they got the Aegis, and now they're back to farm. So you can never have enough gold.
Where's my Enigma refresher? We're already 40 minutes in. Everyone else has their big items, but...
Yeah, everyone else has a refresher, Enigma. What are you doing?
Yeah, now Darkseer's going Hex, and it's something 4FC really does need, because they gotta be able to lock down the heroes like Queen of Pain and Lifestealer, ideally before they can either use Rage or BKB. And, well, with that Hex, they should have a decent shot at it, but he doesn't have it yet. He is getting close, though. Also backed up for a Ghost Scepter. A nice choice. The Lifestealer is the main way he's going to die. So I think this is a smart choice. Both teams could really benefit from things like Ghost Scepters, Force Stabs. We see a lot of Blink Daggers, though, which are only going to help you offensively.
Yeah, but Blink Daggers have bigger range and are also more fun. Did we point at the Blink Dagger on Lina? Because she has one as well.
They still haven't gone for a gem on either team, but every support has like a Blink and a Drums at the very least.
Because spending money on sentry wards is just what they want to do. And I think they spend a lot of money on sentry wards this game.
I really wish we could
gem
see the gold spent on wards. That should definitely be a stat. There's
I
still
miss
a
those
nice
Warcraft 3, this huge drop-down table where you can just see anything you want.
It was actually
How many
one of
triple kills?
Yeah, it was actually one of the worst things for a caster ever, though, because it blocks the entire screen.
Yes, but it was nice for those random kind of things. You just wonder
totally
about
agree.
it and you can look it up.
Oh, the good old Warcraft 3 days. How I miss them. Some things, anyway. Many I don't. Queen of Pain with the Hex, sieging away on the tower, the Eidolons as well. Enigma maybe a tiny bit far up. Should probably sit a little farther back. We'll do so now. And they want to go on Luna. Enigma says, man up, it's time. Mag's looking for an RP. He'll blink in on the far side, but he gets silenced. He has the BKB after this. Can they burst him down? They lift him up. They drop him low. He pops his BKB. He gets RP number 1. Then he'll die. Does he have the buyback? It doesn't look like it. Now the Eclipse goes off. 2 heroes running. Mag's still dead for a minute. Still not buying back. Apparently doesn't have it. Mega kill for the Queen of Pain, but they lost the Lifestealer. An additional nuke from the, of all things, the Satyr Hell Tormentor, not Hellcaller, was coming out. Oh, they don't have a high ground warder. Queen of Pain would die as well. Is that Krilly actually microing his Satyr in the middle of that fight? Pretty impressive, to say the least.
It's interesting that they still came out on top of that with the Magnus getting silenced and hexed and killed after the first RP. And there was no skewer back into the tower or anything. But Lina has a Butterfly. That deals a lot of damage, and Bane is getting a BKB. And then there's nothing to stop the Fiend's grip on Nakes.
Well,
apart from Black Hole.
Well, there's Global Silence, but they're not going to use it just for him. They've got to worry a lot more about the Enigma at this point. Up. There's your nukes coming out, or not the Enigma, the Magnus at this point, and the Rex under siege. No buyback on the lifesteal. Apparently doesn't have it, so they lose their tower. Will Luna commit for this? Is gonna back off. Satanic is coming soon, and if you're 4FC, I think you really do want to wait for the Satanic, because your Luna will have BKB Satanic, and PR, as much burst as they have, once she has that additional HP with evasion, and just double RP on the field, and the BKB Fiend Script, there really should be no way for PR to burst her down, unless Krilly is just horribly out of position.
You know what's really nice about a Luna? With the tower gone, the glaives bounce everywhere, right? So they also bounce into heroes with a Blink Dagger. That means that if Enigma gets in too close and he gets hit by a glaive, he can't jump in anymore.
Yeah,
and with all those Blink Daggers up...
They bounce, like, all through here, too. So, I mean, they have a really long bounce range in the base, just because of the way the buildings are kind of positioned next to each other, where they're not actually that far away.
And it has been some time since we've seen an item on Naked. Is there something in the courier? No, because the Desolator was quite some time ago. I mean, we're almost 45 minutes in.
I'm telling you, Moon here could learn a thing or two from Krilly. Getting that Midas. Farming is a lot easier. Oh well.
And now with the evasion up on Luna. Yes, they have Queen of Pain's burst damage. They can Hex, and I believe Hex removes evasion, right?
That's correct.
Okay. But Lifesteal is not gonna hit her anymore, so he needs an MKB. Else it will be hard to bring up the damage. If Luna is playing it correctly and has a Satanic, it's gonna be super hard to bring her down.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is you can't just go on the Luna either at this point. Like, you have to be worried about a Bane with a BKB who can Fiend's Grip your carry, like you said, for 5 seconds. And the double RP, the wall, and the vacuum from the Darkseer, these heroes are all high priority targets as well. They have some very strong late game supports and utility heroes compared to PR. A hero like Silencer, all he can do is pop his ult. That's it. And he can only do it once with that. And he's just not going to have the impact. A Rubik can potentially have the same big impact, but we just haven't seen it yet. So if I'm PR, I'm a little worried. I would like to have an Abyssal Blade and ideally another Hex, but there's just nobody who can really farm it right now. Enigma's up to 5k. He could actually build one, or potentially a Refresher Orb. We'll have to see what he goes for.
And we haven't talked about the Empower on Luna yet even. That's even more damage. And now Satanic up. She's almost full. If she wants to buy something else, she needs to sell her Hand of Midas.
I'll tell you, Krilly will go to the grave before he ever sells this Hand of Midas.
So he's not even gonna pick up the Aegis in 3 minutes?
I'm sure he'll sell it then.
Yeah, that's more important.
But he shouldn't, because it's not thematically consistent.
He can still put it in the courier, and then pick it up later.
Well, I mean, he needs the 30% attack speed, though. That's the big thing. It's not even about the goal with Krilly. That's what you don't understand.
Okay.
Okay.
So he needs to sell the Boots of Travel?
Yeah, he'll sell the Midas. Alright, I give in. My trolling apparently not like next level enough.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm used to, you know, when you talk to Cinderin a lot, you're just used to something else. And yeah.
Yeah, Cinderin, well, he likes to mess around a
I'm
little
used to
bit,
trolling.
but...
So you need to... Oh, is there gonna be Nake Spam? You need to troll me a lot hard if you wanted to have any impact on me.
Yeah, we'll see.
And
I'm taking it easy on you, Maruna, but at this rate, I might have to step my game up.
Yes.
The next...
Look at the river, all the wards there. That's so much gold. That's so much gold just in sentry wards. Why aren't they buying a gem?
There's finally a gem on the
support
Lina,
soul.
but I think she's only had it for like 5 minutes at most, maybe 10, but I don't even think that. And honestly, with the amount of that is a criminal offense. Gems should have been purchased by both teams by like the 20-22 minute mark, because this was a really passive game. All the supports got levels and farm. Hell, I mean, the Bane's got a BKB, the gem was only really just purchased. So, well, not really optimal support play for either team, but at least they're buying a lot of wards. That's the nice thing.
Yeah, maybe they bought so many wards that they didn't have money for a gem.
Well, the observers, that's understandable, but there's a lot of sentries on the map as well, which obviously you could avoid purchasing. So they're waiting for the next Roche. And
yeah, looks like we're waiting for that.
And 4FC should have a significant advantage here at this point. PR, they have Global Silence, they have the Enigma Black Hole. and nothing else on the Enigma yet. But they have double RP on the mag. They're going to be fighting in the pit with Eclipse, with Glaives, with Satanic, BKB Luna, and this,
Level 25 Luna.
yeah, can't level up anymore. Poor Krilly. I'm sure he was excited when the World of Warcraft expansion came out. You can get those additional 10 levels.
Yeah, he's gonna switch games now.
Yeah.
Just to level more.
Nice frog.
Far more.
Why let me go to level 30? Game was good. And Roche is gonna drop unopposed.
Yeah, they can't do anything. It's too risky for them. I think they rather want to fight in their own base where they can buy back and join the fight after a few seconds, because they can't just buy back and TP in. They don't have boots of travel, they don't have towers nearby, so they want to play it super safe. They know if they lose a fight at Roche, PR, they're just gonna lose Rex and even lose the game.
The issue is they can't really fight in their base either, though, because Luna is so farmed and has Empower. I mean, just sending the Luna illusions in from the Mantis style, they will bring the base down and force an early glyph, and then round 2 is going to kill the base. Look how quickly these creeps die. Your racks are not living that long either. So if I'm PR, I may be thinking about something like a smoke gank. The issue is, of course, there's Aegis Cheese, so if you go for that, you may end up in a bit of a pickle. Apparently they were waiting for a Sight Device, which has now been purchased on the Enigma, but they've already allowed Krilly to arrive at the base. He's now going to mow down the creep wave. A rock in a hard place for PR. And Luna just continued to work away. Just look at those casual bounces. That's like the 3rd or 4th bounce. And it's still chipping away rapidly. The Rex is about to drop. Krilly has cheese. Remember, he doesn't have the Aegis, so potentially they can bring him down. They might be able to do it. Silence is there, but the RP catches 3. RP number 2 is available. No mana for it, though. Has not used his Arcane Boots. Now will do so, but is getting Fiend Script, I believe. Not able to get it off. Enigma jumps in. Black Hole on 3. Bane on the sidelines, just standing there watching. RP was stolen by Rubik. Does some good damage, but doesn't seem to be enough. And now Luna comes back with the full might of Bouncing Glaives and massive Midas farm. Krilly's going to chop through the base, and this looks to be the end for PR. Without the burst damage, 4FC easily take down one lane of Rex. Are going to play it safe and back off, but they didn't lose Aegis. Luna was able to pop the cheese there thanks to the RP from the mag, and that was really all it took in the end.
It was what I was talking about. The Glaives bounced on Enigma. I was on him the second it happened, and his Blink Dagger was on cooldown. And then all his teammates jumped in, and he was sitting there saying, hey, I have a BKB, I have a black hole, but I can't jump. So he had to walk in, and while that was happening, all his teammates died already.
They do have RP on Rubik, so if I'm PR, wait for that. I think it's level 16 Rubik. He may have gotten it in that fight, though. But he should have this. He'll have the RP, I think, just long enough. With the once the Enigma ult cools down, if they want to force a fight, they'll have RP and black hole. And there won't be a cheese on the Luna. Your odds of winning this game are probably at their best at that point. If you go any longer, 4FC, if they fight you at your base again, your glyph's on cooldown, you're losing another lane of racks, no questions asked, and then the game's pretty much over.
And looks like the Silencer needed a little disconnect there. Maybe he had to go to the toilet, you never know. The game is going... It doesn't feel like a long game because there's been so little real big action. I mean, what's the gold? The gold is pretty big at this moment. It's 15,000 gold. But just look at the boxes again. Look at that space between the last fight and the fight before that.
A good 10 minutes of just nothing but farming, which
Farm.
obviously favors 4FC. They have the better split push. Villat says go, no time, so we go immediately.
That's Starladder schedule for you.
Yeah.
1 game, 1 hour. We're already 50 minutes in.
And Navi is waiting.
Oh, we don't want to let Navi waiting.
Yeah.
But that they start without us.
Well, they're not starting without Villat, I can tell you that. So if he's here, then we can stay.
Are you sure he's not gonna just leave this game to cast Navi?
If it's gonna start without him, then I'm sure he'll leave. But if he's here, I'm gonna stay. If he leaves, I'll leave immediately as well. And well, we'll have to see. For the moment, Darkseer's muscling his way towards bottom. The pressure will mount on the base, and they don't have Glyph, remember that? They don't have Black Hole for 90 seconds. This is a great time for 4FC to fight. They don't have double RP, but having 1 RP, well, Rubik has it. They should know it's still up on the Rubik because it's so late in the game. But without the Black Hole, it's going to be tough. Rubik has a Blink, but it's quite squishy. They can also just siege with the illusions. Is the Luna going to do so? Has not popped the illusions yet. Probably waiting to get Malphist. Gets hexed up to start the fight. But now the Darkseer throws them back with the vacuum. Then comes the Rubik. Blink RP catches two, including the Luna. But there's no follow-up. There's not that black hole, that additional damage they need. And the Laguna Blade Wall Ghost Scepter will spell absolute murder for the Rubik. This is it. The end has come. No more way for PR to defend. Just look at the glaives bouncing all the way through, doing tons of damage. They do bash the Luna, actually able to kill her off. The Mag has his second ultimate, or his ultimate rather, but was silenced, so was not able to get it off. The Blink BKB was cooling down, but now RPs. Curly will come back to life and buys back, TPs into the fight, drops the Eclipse. That'll be the end. 4FC just need that one extra life on the Luna. That's all it took. 2 lanes of Rex, and that should pretty much be it. GG from PR. And they just didn't play this one greedily enough to let it go on this long with such a passive style.
And that is the reason we needed Boots of Travel on Luna. Just for that one kill. The one time she dies and then she can buy back and teleport back in. And now Magnus is doing some weird stuff in the base.
Yeah, nice Fountain RP skewer. Didn't have mana for the skewer, but pops the Arcane Boots. Will have it now. And 4FC, well, out of the running to actually go to the LAN finals, but nonetheless, notch a win to their belt, take a game, and that's something they can certainly be proud of. Guys, stay tuned. We have more Starladder action coming up next here on Beyond the Summit. The next game will be Navi versus El Pride, and an El Pride that no longer has Vigas. El Pride has their hands full, I have to say. I'm LD, and I was joined here today by Maruna. Maruna, any shoutouts? Anything you want to add?
I think if I stay around for a little bit longer, I'm going to do my shoutouts at the end, because a lot of people are going to tell me that I need to shout out them, so I'm just going to wait for all people to tell me.
Okay, build your list now. But guys, stay tuned. We have more Starladder action coming up after this.